Hello, Matrix, and welcome again. Today we are looking at optimization. So for those of you who've seen my previous videos on optimization, you'll know that I've put it into 4 simple steps. And from the last video, if you looked at that, the first step is usually the hardest if you have to do it, which is getting the function in terms of one variable. So let's look at this question now, which looks like a monster, but don't worry, we're going to approach it step by step. So when you see a type of question like this, maybe don't look at it as, oh my gosh, it's 12 marks. How am I going to get these marks? Think, I'm going to take it step by step, and I'm going to try and get some of the marks. You may end up getting all of the marks. So what does it say? So we see that there's a circle, and inside is a cone, and we've got center of the circle C, and we've got these two are 30 and 30. So we know C is the center of the circle, and then 30 is the radius of this. It's actually a sphere. All right, so it's a 3D circle. Okay, so I'm not going to get too bogged down with what is going on here. Let's just look at 9.1 and see if we can figure out what's going on. So 9.1 says, apologies if the video of me keeps jumping, having a bit of an issue today, but hopefully we'll sort it out soon. Okay, 9.1.1 says, get AC in terms of T. Well, AC is this line here, so let's just maybe draw that in purple. So we've got AC in terms of T. Well, this is 30, and this whole thing is T. So AC must just equal, the whole thing is T, so it must just be 2T minus 30, because if this whole line is T, then AC must be 30 minus T minus 30. Okay, so already we've got 1 mark, so we're happy about that. And let's just keep going. So 9.1.2 says P squared in its simplest form in terms of T. So this is already a right angle. And so let's just write in that we got that AC is equal to T minus 30, because if we had to get it, then it's usually used in the next question. Well, we know that P squared, if this is P squared, this is a right angled triangle. So what we know about a right angled triangle is the long side CB. CB squared is equal to CA squared. Well, let's make it AC because they're giving AC, plus AB squared, right? The long side is equal to the 2 short sides. Long side squared is equal to the square root of the sum of the 2 short sides. So we've got CB is 30 squared. We know that CB already. And we know that AC is T minus 30. We had to work that out in our previous question. Equals AB is simply P squared. So now we've got this. And we want P squared in its simplest form. So P squared equals 30 squared minus, because if that goes to the other side, T minus 30. Let's square out this whole thing. It becomes T squared minus 60T plus this whole thing here, plus, let's just keep that as 30 squared. The reason I'm doing that, 30 times 30 is going to be 900. So what I'm doing is I'm timesing this out to get this. Okay, so the P squared went this side, the 30 squared went that side. So they didn't change signs. And then when the minus 30 goes across, it changes. So then if we take this out, we get 30 squared minus T squared minus 60T, but becomes plus 60T, and then minus 30 squared. So we see that these 30s go away, and I get P squared equals minus T squared plus 60T. And so we have p squared in its simplest form in terms of t. Now it says, show that the volume of the cone can be written as v to the t equals this thing here. Right, so let's now do the volume of a cone. Okay, so they've given the volume of a cone up above. And v equals 1/3 pi r squared times h. Okay, well, we know that r is 30. We've done that. The radius of the circle's, sorry, AB is the radius of the circle of the cone, right? This thing here. So the radius is actually p, and we got p squared to be, so the radius is actually p squared. So where we see an r squared, we can just put p squared, but of course p squared is this t value, and of course the height of the cone is t. So we can replace h with t. So let's do that. So we're going to say 1/3 pi, and then r squared is this thing here, negative t squared plus 60t, multiplied by the h is t. And so we get 1/3 times this is minus t squared. Okay, so that's the last bit. So it's minus 1/3 pi t squared. And then this cubed, actually, because when I times this t, let me just do those arrows there. When I times this minus t times t, I get t cubed. Okay, so that's t cubed. And when I times the 60t by t, I get 60t squared. So that's plus 1/3 times pi times 60t squared. Okay, so now I'm going to do it in the format they've got, which 1/3 times 60 is just 20. So that's 20 times pi t squared, and then the minus, let's put it at the back, minus 1/3 pi t cubed. Okay, so nice thing is they gave us the answer there, and we just had to show how to get it. So it took a bit of a while to get there, but we got there in the end. I'm sure that hopefully you guys practice this one at home by yourself. Once you've seen this and then try to do it by yourself, you'll hopefully be able to just cut this down into 2 steps rather than the 3 that we did. Okay, but the most important thing is we get the answer right. Now, 9.3 says calculate the value of t. Okay, so let's just look at our steps. So we've basically only just followed instructions there. But let's say that they told us to do this and they didn't lead us through hoops. Well, get the function in terms of one variable. Okay, so that's what we've done. So in yellow, I'm going to show the function in terms of one variable, because they ended up wanting us to show a volume function, because they said the volume cone is maximum. So this is the v function. And so what we've got here is a v in terms of t. And so this function was v in terms of t, and we got it in terms of one variable. So unbeknownst to us, we did step 1. Find the derivative of the function. That's what we're going to do next, because it says calculate the value of t for which the cone will be a maximum. So what we're doing is we need to go back to our steps if we get confused. Get the function in terms of one variable. Look and see, yes, we did that. Okay, the first few were just kind of just giving us marks, really. Then find the derivative of the function. Okay, so we need to do that. So we need to find the derivative of vt. Now, if they don't tell you that, when in doubt, find the derivative on these, because that's going to be marks. So even if you don't know what the heck's going on, they're probably going to give you marks because you got the derivative. So say you weren't able to do 9.1 and you weren't able to do 9.2. You at least know that this is the function in terms of one variable. So they've kind of done step 1 for you. Even though you may not get any marks for this, you can at least continue on and say, right, Didn't know what was going on there, but I'm going to follow my steps, which is find the derivative of a function to get the max. And so we'll do that because they've given us that. So 2 times 20 is 40 pi. And if I take 1 off 2, it becomes t. And then 3 times a third minus a third is just 1. So then I get minus pi t squared. Great. Find the derivative function. Done. Okay. Step 3. Derivative to find the maximum or minimum, make it equal to 0. So I make it equal to 0. 0 equals 40 pi t plus minus pi t squared. Okay, so what I want to do here is solve for t. Okay, so I'm going to take pi t out as a common factor. And then this becomes 40 minus, and then it's t. Okay, let me just show you that in colors. So we took, there's a pi there and a pi there. We take that out. We take a t out as well. And so we're left with 1t here and 40 there. So we see that. Okay. So it's tricky when there's pi's, but don't worry, pi is just a number. A very important number, but a number nonetheless. So pi t equals 0, or 40 minus t equals 0. Okay. Should carrying on with the red, but it's fine. Okay, so then t equals 40, or t equals 0. Well, can t be 0? No. That would be where you have a minimum volume. Okay, so that's obviously not going to work. So we're going to know that our max is where t is 40. Find the value of t, so that's done. So t equals 40, done. Okay, so that's done. Substituted into the original function was our step 4 in order to find the max. Well, do we need to do it? No. They said find what percentage of the sphere was used to obtain the cone having a maximum volume. Okay, so what we need to do is, first of all, we don't know the volume of the sphere, the volume of the cone yet. So let's get that. And so this is a question for 4 marks. And you think, well, not sure what's going on here, maybe, but you do know that you can get some marks. So this was 9.3 here. This bit here was 9.3. 9.2 was show the volume. So this was 9.2 here. Sorry to jump around so much. And I'm going to need some space to, okay, so I'm going to do it on the sheet here in black. Actually, no, let's do it in blue. On the sheet here, we're going to do 9.4. Okay, so let's just get the maximum volume of the cone. So we know that. That's going to be t equals 40. So we substitute v. So we're actually doing step 4. So v of 40 equals, and we're going to substitute, we've got it into there. So let's just put it into there. 20 pi 40 squared minus a third pi 40 cubed. Okay, let's put that in our calculator. And I put it into the calculator and I get 3200. I could put S to D. And so the volume is this. I'm keeping it in pi because they wanted it as a percentage of the sphere. So what I want to do is I want to now find the volume of the sphere. Well, they've given me the volume of the sphere formula is V equals 4 over 3 pi r. This is pi r. I think it's actually pi r cubed. Let's check. Yes. So the volume of a sphere is pi r. This should be a cubed here. Okay, so 4 over 3 pi r cubed. So I'm going to put the radius. So the radius of the sphere is 30. So I can put that in here as 30. And a cubed. And I'm going to get 4 over 3 shift pi 30 cubed equals, and I get 36,000 pi. Okay, so this is the sphere, and this is the cone. And of course, it's the percentage of the sphere. So what I'm going to do is say 3,200 over 3 pi divided by 3,600, because that's the total volume that it could fill if it was to fill the whole sphere. Obviously, the pi's cancel. Now I need to get a percentage, so times over 100. And so I could just divide these two by each other. Well, the zeros cancel. This zero cancels. This zero cancels. 32 cancels into 36. Because 4 goes into both, and I get 9 and 8. And it goes 8 over 3 divided by 9. Let me just put that into our calculator. Actually, you know what? To make sure that we don't make any mistakes, you can actually put the whole thing in your calculator using the fraction button. So let's just do that. So we get 3,200 over 3. And we'll put the pi in there anyway. The pi's will go away. Over 3,600 shift pi. Are we going to get a number which we would do? So we get 8 over 27, which makes perfect sense because here, so indeed our calculator, we've got an 8 there. The 3 would go to the bottom and become 3 times 9, which is 27. So 8 over 27 is, we know that's 100% correct. That's what we put in our calculator. We times by 100 to get our percentage, S to D, and we get 29%. Or 29.62. So we'll just say what percentage? We'll say 29.6. Let's make it 3%. Okay, so that is the final answer for your 9.4. I'll put a link into the description if you want to look at this whole past paper. Yeah, so that's optimization. I think we'll probably leave it there. I might do some more optimization videos on request. But if not, I'm going to be going on to financial maths. So please find the subscribe button down below. If you're studying for your matric exams, then you'll get notifications. Also, it supports the channel. Share with your friends, all that good stuff. And all the best for your studying. It's not long now before the exams, so you need to do as many of these past papers as you can. And yeah, hook me up in the comments, and I'm happy to help you if I can. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, or morning.